The moral of a story is a lesson that is conveyed within the context of a story or event. As an example, at the end of Aesop's fable, The Tortoise and the Hare, in which the plodding and determined tortoise won a race against the much faster yet extremely arrogant hare, the stated moral is slow and steady always wins a race. In Shakespeare's Macbeth, a play that is set in medieval Scotland and dramatizes concepts such as ambition, power, greed, deception, and treachery, the moral is unchecked ambition and excessive thirst for power will ultimately lead to destruction. And in Hemingway's Old Man and the Sea, a short novel that speaks to the universal truths of a man's existence within this world, where pride, respect, tenacity, and dreams fuel a man in his quest to thrive in the face of struggle, the moral is, man is not made for defeat. And relating to this post and all of your hopes, all of your dreams and goals and good intentions for that matter, the moral is simple, the moral is raw, and it is very universal. We're all playing a high-stakes game of one and done, and it's your responsibility to be your own hero and to make your dreams come true before time runs out. So allow me to put some meat on these bones and to rock your world to the core. Untap human potential. I'm talking the hopes, dreams, the goals, and good intentions that don't translate into purposeful action is the greatest plague of mankind. See, unlike wine that gets better with age, most goals die in the vine and never see the light of day. And if you think about it, the graveyard is the richest place on earth. Now, why is that, you might ask? Well, that's where you're going to find all the books that were never written, the songs that were never sung, the languages that were never learned, the inventions that were never shared, the commitments that were never honored, the countries that were never visited, the promises that were never kept, the world records that were never broken, the financial security that was never achieved, the businesses that were never launched, the advanced degrees that were never earned, the sexy body and the six-pack abs that were never enjoyed, the relationships that were never repaired, and the great potential that was never realized. Now, how is that even remotely possible? One word: fear. That's why. So what is it that compels people to be fearful? To live an entire lifetime with very little to show for it, and to eventually go to their grave with their music still inside them? Well, for the majority of us, it's the desire for safety, for refuge, for security. In short, it's the inclination to play it safe and to remain in the comfort zone. But the life you want, I'm talking the truly magical life that you want to experience, will only happen once you face your fears and actively work to get outside your comfort zone. It's always been this way, and it will always be this way. See, fear is unworthy of your companionship. It's a domestic terrorist. It's an unwanted visitor who's overstayed his welcome. Your ultimate goal is to face it, to conquer it, and to use fear as the trigger for unleashing your greatness. And should you choose not to, it will become the trigger for living a small, compromised life. See, the person who does not wish to belong to the masses, the one who dares to show the world what he or she is capable of creating, must cease being controlled and manipulated by fear. Fear is never a reason for quitting, nor for second-guessing yourself. It's only a cowardly excuse for those unwilling to face their doubts, their insecurities, and their mental boogeyman. Therefore, your first duty in rising to meet a challenge is to conquer fear and the mental resistance it brings along with it. You must choose to get rid of it, or as the title of this message implies, your hopes, your dreams, goals, and good intentions will become just another casualty that end up in the graveyard. So let's talk about the high cost of fear. What exactly are the consequences of keeping your dreams on hold? What's the impact on your life and your legacy when you run from rather than towards a challenge? Well, let's take a close look at a few of the many consequences associated with quitting, with being underemployed, remaining fearful, and not rising to meet the demands of a challenge. Well, number one is that you'll experience a diminished sense of self-worth and low personal value. See, eventually you come to think of yourself as the kind of person who is undeserving of success. And when you begin to lose faith in yourself, it leads to a downward spiral of psychological devastation that's extremely difficult to overcome. The second consequence is the perpetuation of pain. See, avoiding a challenge and running from your fears only achieves self-sabotage and the perpetuation of pain, which leads to a cycle of failure and disappointment. Failure's high price is commonly imposed through bankruptcy, unemployment, depression, bad grades, stress, and other forms of physical or psychological pain. And the third consequence is all about character assassination. See, by allowing fear to control your life, you will serve as a disturbing example of wasted talent, of someone who chose fear over courage. Your life will be viewed as a sad consequence of neglect, of excuse-making, self-pity, poor character, lack of direction, and a courage deficit. The fourth consequence is the development of a quitter reputation. See, quitting is a habit, and it's also the path of least resistance. Facing your fears requires that you increase your level of resistance and your tolerance to pain, to inconvenience, and to sacrifice. As once you develop a quitter reputation, your options will become limited. Your reputation will become questionable, and your future will become in serious jeopardy. And the fifth, number 5, you become a traitor. See, by refusing to face your fears, you by default choose to betray, to openly resist, and rebel against any opportunity and chance for a better life. In effect, you become your own worst enemy, a real-life Benedict Arnold, your very own Judas Iscariot, as the greatest form of betrayal is betrayal of oneself. Fear of any type is a temperamental beast. It's built for a fight. It's designed that way. It works to mentally tear you down, and it will not be vanquished quickly nor easily. That's why, if you're ever going to find your greatness, you need to do the following 4 things. You must choose to face your fears, whatever they may be. You must develop the personal constitution to conquer that which is determined to conquer you. Number 3, you must deliberately enforce your will over any obstacle and advance towards your goals with an indomitable, unbeatable spirit. And last, you must become your own hero. See, to become your own hero means choosing yourself. It means getting emotionally committed to a cause, a problem, or project, which in turn, it enables you to go to places that others are afraid to go, to try things that others are afraid to try, and to be the kind of courageous person that others are afraid to be. The world needs people who care about the work they do, about the people they serve, the results they produce, and the impact that they're making. The world needs strong, courageous, independent thinking people who want to use their creative ideas and their unique talents to make a lasting difference. The world needs leaders who can lead, leaders who set inspiring examples, leaders who demonstrate trust, and leaders who know how to make things happen. The world needs people with guts, people with passion, and people who are willing to be shunned or rejected in the pursuit of their goals and their dreams. The world needs connectors, not detractors. We need people who can communicate an inspiring vision, people who can light a fire in the belly of their peers. Most importantly, the world needs you, and I mean it needs all of you. It needs the brave you, the risk-taking you, the big thinking, and the highly capable you. See, I see something that's good in you, and I'm calling it out right now. I want you to know that the world wants what you have to offer. And because of that, the world needs you to make a very important decision right now. It needs you to raise your hand and to be your own hero. And only you can do it, and you must do it. And I'm hoping you choose to stand up, to put your unique talents to work, to create art that matters, and to choose to make a difference as the best possible future is the one where you fully contribute your true self, your best self. My goal in putting together this message is to persuade you that there's an awesome, life-changing opportunity waiting for you to pounce on it. I'm talking about a chance to significantly change your life and make your mark on this world. And it's not by doing things that are soft and easy, but it is by doing things that are hard, that are demanding, and highly rewarding. And it starts by making a simple choice. Be your own hero. And I created the 100-day challenge to show you how. So please check it out at 100daychallenge.com.